to be joining us in this remarkable and important session. My name is Raj, and I will be your host for today's event. Today, we are focusing on a topic that is crucial to the growth and success of our cybersecurity solution providers, like all of you here who are joining us today, especially within the UK market. This session will provide you with the valuable insights into the evolving cybersecurity landscape in the UK, highlight key business opportunities for you to be able to tap into, and more importantly, outline strategies for your successful entry and scalable growth within the UK market. Without further ado, what we want to do is to begin by welcoming our project partners from CyberSG TIG Collaboration Center to provide their welcome remarks. Here we have with us today Ms. Teo Julin from CyberSG TIG Center. Julin, please.
Hello, everybody. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in for this Playbook clinic. So, I am from Cyber SG TIG Collaboration Center, working together with SG Tech. Cyber SG TIG Collaboration Center, right? It's a joint initiatives with Cyber Security Agency of Singapore and National University of Singapore. So we are like a Singapore national hub for cybersecurity to build up the community of cybersecurity ecosystem. Okay, so our focus area, as you can see, TIG is talent, innovation, and growth. So talent is we train and develop cybersecurity skills from students to working professionals. So our programs help people to start new careers in cybersecurity and to grow in their current roles. So as for innovation-wise, we support the creation of new solutions to solve important cybersecurity problems. So if you have any challenges, and then you can submit to us, and then we have programs like CyberCore and CyberBoost that provide funding, resources, and connection to help these companies to develop and bring their ideas to the market. As for cyber growth, which is part of the current program, which is the CyberBook, the Playbook development as well, we help Singapore cybersecurity companies to expand into other countries and by breaking down the market entry barriers, like for example, by providing them this market entry playbook, and then also to connect them with the right networks and opportunities. Okay, so this is a brief introduction about TIG. Okay, I'll pass it over to you, Raj. Thank you.
Thank you, Julin, for your wonderful remarks. And for the rest of our participants as well, TIG Collaboration Center is doing immense, wonderful work connecting the cybersecurity companies in Singapore and being able to work with them and help them expand their own capacities within the different markets. In that same vein, SG Tech as well, for some of you who are new to us, SG Tech is also one of the largest trade associations in Singapore, serving more than 1,400 technology companies within our technology ecosystem in Singapore, of which many of them are also our cybersecurity companies. So once again, welcome to everyone here. Essentially, our session, I forgot to mention earlier, but our session will cover our presentation today by our wonderful consultant from OCO Global, Ms. Patricia McCann. And we will also then move into the questions and answer segment, and then our official launch of our UK Cyber Export Playbook. And I'm also reminded at this point of time that essentially one of the key things of our Cyber Export Playbook is really to be able to add value to all of our cybersecurity companies or cybersecurity solution providers in Singapore, to be able to guide you effectively step by step on how to be able to tap on existing or emerging opportunities within the landscape and how to craft your own GTM strategies accordingly. We also have a special surprise in the form of a wonderful guest who is joining us, but I will introduce him in our questions and answer segment. So I think without further ado, we will move into our presentation. And here I'd like to introduce wonderful consultant, Miss Patricia McCann. So Patricia is based in Belfast and brings nearly 7 years of experience in foreign direct investment, With a strong academic research background dating back to 2012, Patricia specializes in investment attraction, economic development, sector evaluation, stakeholder engagement, and training development. She has a proven track record in enhancing sectoral competitiveness and identifying high potential sectors for FDI attraction. Today, she'll be sharing her valuable insights into how our businesses can leverage the UK cybersecurity market, which is ripe with opportunities. So let's give Patricia a warm welcome as she takes us through her presentation. Patricia, please.
Thank you, Raj. I'll just share my screen.
Yes, please.
Let me know if you can see that clearly.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Yes, great. Thank you. Thank you, Raj. And thanks everyone for joining us today. As Raj says, my name is Patricia McCann and I'm a consultant at OCO Global based in Belfast. I'm also joined today by my colleague Hoda. At OCO Global, we are really delighted to have had the opportunity to support this initiative and to work with Raj and the rest of the team on this playbook. Today, we are very pleased to introduce our cybersecurity playbook, which was commissioned by the Cyber SG TIG Collaboration Centre and SG Tech, and is designed to guide Singaporean cybersecurity companies in navigating and succeeding in the UK market. We hope you will find this a really useful tool for your expansion plans to the UK. The playbook is researched and fully referenced with details on many different aspects of doing business in the UK. It contains detailed information on market drivers and emerging trends, why the UK is a good place for a cybersecurity business, how to access support, and how to set up in the UK. But our presentation for today will take you through just some key highlights from the playbook, including a brief overview of the cybersecurity market in the UK. We'll move on to mention some successful players in the UK market, then some emerging trends and opportunities across the different sectors in the UK. We'll have a brief look at some regulations for cybersecurity companies, finally looking at the go-to-market strategy and finishing off with a summary of some of our expert insights. Throughout the presentation, as Raj has mentioned, please, if you do have any questions, please feel free to use the chat bar function. So we'll start today with an overview of the UK cybersecurity market. Cybersecurity in the UK is a growing and diverse market and is projected to reach £12.66 billion by 2029, representing an annual growth rate of 8.86%, making it an ideal destination for companies looking to expand. The UK is recognised as a global leader in cybersecurity innovation. And as well as seeing significant growth in annual revenue and employment, it offers a range of investment opportunities across all sectors, from financial services and healthcare to infrastructure and transport. The UK also boasts research excellence in this sector, with 21 universities in the UK recognised as academic centres of excellence in cybersecurity research. With cyber attacks becoming increasingly sophisticated and the number of attacks increasing, there are opportunities for innovative cybersecurity companies to find solutions. The UK provides a business-friendly environment, robust legal systems, access to a highly skilled workforce, and opportunities for collaboration, as well as world-class universities and research centres. It offers a truly competitive landscape for investors. From tackling AI-enabled cyber attacks to fighting zero-day exploits, and improving security for our IoT-enabled devices, the UK can provide the support and environment you need to succeed. As the largest cyber security market in Europe, the UK market is highly competitive and is characterised by a diverse and dynamic landscape, comprising a mix of established firms and innovative startups. Recent government analysis indicated there were over 2,000 active firms providing cybersecurity products and services. Most of the cybersecurity firms in the UK are small and medium-sized enterprises. However, the startup ecosystem is vibrant and rapidly expanding, with a diverse range of companies focusing on addressing emerging security challenges. Prominent companies such as BAE Systems and Darktrace offer comprehensive cybersecurity solutions, and many actively pursue mergers, acquisitions, and strategic partnerships to enhance their market presence, indicating significant opportunities for Singapore cybersecurity companies. Finally, the professional consulting firms offer strategic advice and consulting services to help organizations secure their digital assets. And you can find strengths across the UK, regardless of where you choose to set up. Across the country, there is an ecosystem of innovation with the potential for partnerships and collaboration. Over half of cybersecurity firms in the UK operate outside of London and the South East, demonstrating the sector's reach and significance throughout the UK. On this slide, you can see a snapshot of the strengths across the UK, and just to take you through each in a bit more detail. Belfast has one of the world's most concentrated cybersecurity clusters, and since 2018, Northern Irish cybersecurity companies have raised over £43 million in VC funding. It is also home to the Centre for Secure Information Technologies, a globally renowned centre that is the partner of choice for many multinationals. In Wales, you can find one of the biggest cybersecurity ecosystems. It is home to the Airbus Centre of Excellence in Cybersecurity Analytics, the National Cybersecurity Academy, and the Centre for Cybersecurity Research. Manchester is home to GCHQ's newest office, and you can access business support, growth opportunities, and training at the Greater Manchester Digital Security Hub. Finally, Hereford in the West Midlands hosts the Cyber Quarter, a £9 million centre of excellence for cutting-edge research and development. Moving on then to look at some successful players in the market. The UK has a robust mix of providers across different domains, including endpoint security, threat intelligence, and professional services. As mentioned previously, there is a dynamic mix of established multinationals, local companies, and emerging startups, which creates a strong cybersecurity environment in the UK and helps to drive new developments in the market. Professional services and consulting firms also play a critical role in the UK cybersecurity landscape, providing tailored strategies and expertise, assisting businesses in building resilient security frameworks. This strong and competitive ecosystem has proved very attractive with many international companies, including Singaporean tech companies, choosing to expand their business in the UK. There are many different reasons why the UK is so attractive to these international firms. For US firm Wiz, it was due to the presence of the UK's leading global brands and top tech talent, which drove their decision to choose London for the company's growth and expansion. Talent was also a driver for Thales and Rapid7 to expand in the UK. Thales also has partnerships with universities across the country, and for Rapid7, the large cluster of cybersecurity companies, coupled with competitive operating costs, were key motivators for choosing the UK. For NISOS, it was the access to guidance and introductions to talent and expertise by local organisations that fueled their decision to set up in Belfast. And finally, ISA Cybersecurity noted the escalating cybercrime rate as a motivator for establishing their first operations in the UK in 2024. The Playbook also highlights some market drivers and emerging trends in the UK. Around 50% of businesses and 32% of charities experienced a cybersecurity breach or attack in the 12 months leading to April 2024. The National Cybersecurity Centre in the UK warns that artificial intelligence will likely increase both the scale and impact of cyber attacks. AI-powered language models can help to create new strains and variations of existing ransomware, and ransomware continues to be the most acute cyber threat to UK organisations and businesses. However, AI is also a potential asset for the cybersecurity market, aiding in improved detection and resilience. There is a shift towards extended detection and response solutions, driven largely by remote working and a need to secure endpoints, including IoT devices. All IoT device suppliers in the UK need to comply with regulations which ensure a minimum threshold of compliance. However, many organisations continue to rely on legacy devices, including those that handle critical national infrastructure. In 2023, the National Cybersecurity Centre found that 39% of UK data breaches stemmed from cloud vulnerabilities.
Patricia, apologies, you're muted. Yes. Could you just repeat your past sentence?
Sorry, yes, I don't know
No
how
worries.
that happened. Thank you, Raj.
No worries.
So I'll go to, in 2023, the National Cybersecurity Centre found that 39% of UK data breaches stemmed from cloud vulnerabilities. In response, the NCSC introduced initiatives like Secure by Design and Cloud Security Guidance to promote better security practices. UK organisations are increasingly adopting zero trust architecture in an effort to minimise unauthorised access. This extends to the UK Cabinet Office, which announced plans to implement zero trust architecture across government departments by 2025. With zero-day exploits on the rise, UK companies continue to seek solutions to help protect against cyber attacks. The UK is the third most targeted country in the world for cyber attacks, demonstrating opportunities for cybersecurity companies to provide innovative and novel solutions across a variety of sectors. There is a significant need for cybersecurity solutions in sectors like healthcare, finance, government, and critical infrastructure. Digital transformation in the healthcare sector brings with it a reliance on technology and new cybersecurity challenges, such as protecting electronic health records and medical devices from ransomware attacks and unauthorized access. Solutions that ensure patient safety, maintain data privacy, and comply with regulations are frequently sought by the healthcare sector. In the finance sector, the high volume of financial transactions and sensitive customer data make it a prime target for cyber attacks. Consequently, the finance sector is seeking advanced cybersecurity solutions to maintain customer trust, comply with regulations, and protect financial assets by securing the financial infrastructure. Government agencies are attractive targets for cyber attacks, not least because they hold sensitive data and are responsible for critical infrastructure. The UK government is actively seeking solutions to enhance its cyber resilience, protect sensitive information, and maintain public trust to protect national security and ensure the continuity of government services. Critical infrastructure sectors are highly vulnerable to cyber attacks that can disrupt essential services. Ensuring operational continuity and maintaining public safety is crucial. Solutions that enhance the resilience of critical infrastructure and protect against cyber threats are the main focus of the industry. In summary, the UK market is actively seeking solutions in areas such as threat intelligence, endpoint security, incident response, and cloud security. The increasing, sorry, I think my camera's switched off as well. The increasing use of AI and IoT devices presents both challenges and opportunities for cybersecurity companies. I'm now going to pass over to my colleague Hoda to take us through the final sections of the presentation.
Sorry, Patricia, could you also share the slides as well?
Oh, yeah.
And hi, Hoda.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
I'm sorry, I've now lost the ability to share slides. There's not an option for me anymore. Let me just see.
Please.
There we go. Can you see them now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that.
Patricia, can we go to the next slide, please?
Yeah.
Great. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to walk you through the next few slides, which includes the regulations, go-to-market strategy, focusing on key consideration for companies looking to expand into the UK market, as well as some insights from the expert. So let's dive in now. So in terms of the regulation that cybersecurity companies must navigate when entering the UK, there are numbers of laws and regulation that they need to consider when entering the UK market. One is, they need to be business compliance. So
Huda, I think you are a little bit choppy and echoey, so maybe yeah, you want to just mute and unmute again to try. Yeah.
okay. Still.
Still a bit echoey.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Maybe you can speak a bit slower.
Sure.
Perhaps that will help. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, in terms of the regulation, there are a few things that the companies needs to consider when they're looking at the UK market. One is, they need to basically register a company on Company House. They need to make sure that there are compliance with the UK taxes. Can you hear me okay? Sorry.
Yes, we can, but your video switched off.
Oh, I think it's the automatic thing that it happens. Oh,
No worries.
okay.
Yes.
That's strange. Okay. So ensure compliance with the UK taxes and also adhering to UK employment laws related to contracts, working hours, and employee rights. The second one is IP. So to register your IP rights to protect your creation and prevent infringement. Another one is GDPR, UK GDPR, which regulates the processing of personal data. And companies must basically comply with Data Protection Act 2018. There's also financial regulations. So if your company deal with financial institution or services, they need to comply with Financial Conduct Authority, FCA regulations. And also in terms of the support, the UK Investment Support Directive can connect companies to a specialist for navigating regulatory requirements and expanding their businesses in the UK, which there are more details has been included into the playbook that you can refer to, and the link also is available for the UK Investment Support Directory. Can we go to the next slide, please? So here I will go through UK cybersecurity regulations that are structured to protect organizations and individuals from digital threats and ensure compliance in various sectors. So again, UK GDPR, which we already mentioned. So basically, this is mirroring the EU's GDPR, but tailored to the UK context. And also, as I mentioned earlier, they need to comply with Data Protection Act 2018. Cybersecurity and resilience. So there's a cybersecurity and resilience bill that to be introduced in 2025, which will further strengthen the protections. There's also NIS2 directive, which is for essential services, and DORA, UK Operational Resilience Framework, which is for financial institutions, which require businesses to enhance their resilience to cyber threat. Then we have cybersecurity for connected products, which the product security and telecommunication infrastructure requires internet-connected products to meet security standards, strong password security updates, etc. And then FCA, which we already mentioned in the previous slide as well, and NIS2, which is the EU regulations that applies to critical infrastructure sectors like energy, transport, and healthcare. Yeah, so can we move on to the next slide, please? So the next slide is focusing on the go-to-market strategy. So basically, it provides a clear roadmap for how your company will need to go-to-market strategy. Generally is a clear roadmap for how your company will introduce its product or service to the market and set the stage for success. So here are some key considerations to keep in mind when approaching the UK market. So one is understanding communication styles and expectations. So to recognize that different markets have distinct communication practices and expectations. For example, in some culture, directness might be appreciated, while in the other, a more diplomatic approach is favored. So although sometimes you would think that, his English is speaking, so it's easier to work with, but, you always need to consider the culture difference. Adapt to a local business culture. So familiarize the company with local business norms, etiquette, and cultural aspect to build that trust with local stakeholders. And also, it is really vital and important to utilize industry events and to network and also using digital marketing and content platforms to raise awareness and engage with target customers. The third one is establish a local presence. So basically setting up a subsidiary, branch office, or joint ventures could be beneficial for having that presence in the market. So this helps to better understand the local market build credibility and be more responsive to customer needs. And again, building relationship, networking with local industry stakeholders, potential partners, customers to build strong relationships is the key. Leveraging government support, so Singaporean companies can benefit from various government programs and resources that support international expansions, such as trade mission, grants, and incentives from agencies like Enterprise Singapore. And leveraging these resources can reduce risk and also accelerate the growth of the company. So basically, these are the strategies that would support, some of the strategies that would support Singaporean companies in entering and thriving in new market. As we are moving into the next slide, which is covering expert insight. So basically, while we worked on this playbook, we talked to numbers of cybersecurity experts from government to private in order to get their inputs. So we actually had a separate session with them last year and incorporated some of the main points that they shared with us into the playbook. So these experts shared their knowledge and experience on trends, challenges, and opportunities. And for this session, I took only some of the important points from our discussion and sharing it here, but you could obviously refer to more details to Playbook. And if needed, we could potentially provide their contact details as well if you want to get in touch with them. Today, actually, one of the experts supposed to join the session, but he just actually emailed us and let us know that he's not able to because he has been pulled into a meeting. So apologies about that. But as we could go to the next slide, we could see some of the key experts that we spoke with. So one of them was Philip Blake, who is the managing director at Disruptive Cyber Group. He provided insights on how the UK is positioned as a global hub for advancement in IoT and OT security, citing strategic advantages of the UK's time zone and the importance of having local presence for businesses. He is, I think he actually traveled to Singapore end of last year as well. And I know he also has a podcast, which is focusing on cybersecurity as well. So he's very knowledgeable and basically an expert. So again, if, any of these companies want to get in touch with him or get connected, I can make an introduction. The second one was Victor Morignano, who is the information security manager at Chelsea Football Club. He shared his perspective on the growing demand for specialized cybersecurity professionals in various sectors and how automation is addressing the skill gaps. He also was one of those people that saying that networking is really important. He also part of this cybersecurity London club. So he's again very well placed and very involved in the whole cybersecurity ecosystem. The next one is Rob Kearney, who is the head of innovation ecosystem at Plexal, who's some of the companies might know him, I'm not sure, but I know some of the companies may have worked with Plexal before. So he discussed the UK's openness to foreign cybersecurity firms, particularly the necessity of a local presence for securing government contracts, and highlighted key hubs like London, Manchester, and Cheltenham. Next one is Lisa Ventura, who is the founder of Cybersecurity Unity. Again, she's, very experienced. She's very involved in the whole cybersecurity kind of ecosystem again, and he shared about what UK businesses look for when partnering with cybersecurity providers, emphasized on the importance of certification, industry references, and transparency. And lastly, we talked to Kevin Reed, who is the principal cybersecurity advisor at DBT. He also shared transformative trends such as AI-driven app development and post-quantum cryptography, and how the UK offered a robust ecosystem to support foreign companies entering the cybersecurity space. So this is just a brief of what they shared, but we have like obviously more details in the playbook, so you could refer to that. And I think that's it from our side. We would be happy to take any questions that you might have.
Thank you so much, Patricia and Hoda, for your wonderful presentation and for sharing such key insights from our Cyber Export Playbook. Again, for everyone else, our question and answer segment is now open. We'll be more than happy to take some of your questions. What you can do is either raise your hand now within the Teams chat itself, or you can actually send your question in the chat box. And we'll just maybe take the next 20 to 30 minutes to be able to better discuss this. So everyone, please send in your questions. If not, I have some questions of my own. I think while waiting for everyone to just come in and send in the questions. Okay. Yeah, let me just open up my questions. So maybe Patricia and Hoda, if you could just tell us, what are some of the key priorities for the UK in terms of cybersecurity resilience, especially for small and medium enterprises? What are some of the aspects that they are looking at?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Okay. So I was saying, what are the key priorities for the UK in terms of cybersecurity resilience, especially for small and medium-sized enterprises?
So I would say many SMEs, I think, usually they lack awareness about the risk of cyber threats. So that's one of the things, that's the first thing that it comes to my mind, like to improve that awareness and you know, education. Also like encouraging like SMEs to again engage with initiatives like such as like cyber essential schemes, which provides like more guidance for cybersecurity kind of practices. What else? To adopt to kind of like basic cybersecurity measures. So like encouraging cities to adopt to basic measures like regular software updates, encryption, etc. And I think that's what I could think of at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. We have some of our questions coming in. I recognize Pavitra. Yes.
Thanks, Roger. Thanks, Huda, for and Patricia for the wonderful sharing earlier. My name is Pav from SoftCheck. We are a cybersecurity services company. So I just have a few questions for both Huda and Patricia. I think the first question is, I think I'm inclined to ask this because you're a cybersecurity services company. What is the competition landscape that we are looking at when it comes to a cybersecurity services company? So we focus on basically a lot of your vulnerability assessments and red teaming, where we stress test a company's infrastructure, to ensure that they have the right cybersecurity posture, and we go into your managed security services and etc. Right? So I'm just wondering what's the competition like there, and what is the palette of the enterprises in the UK, or the SMEs, or the higher tier SMEs in the UK, to want to adopt services, right, vis-a-vis the local players there. That's my first question. My second question is, in terms of channel partners, and I think some of our folks here, our friends who have joined us here, they are, I'm sure they're looking for resellers as well and channel partners. And what is the channel partnership scene like in the UK? And are they usually open to work with Singaporean cybersecurity services or platform companies? My third and final question is, given the general economic political climate of the UK, right now, I mean, in the last year and right now, what is the growth that you are foreseeing for a foreign cybersecurity company to come in, versus maybe going to the other parts of Europe? So.
Okay. Great. Thanks for your question. So regarding the first question, which was, I think, on the competition, there were too many questions at the same time. So can you just repeat the first part for the first question?
So the first question is, what is the sort of competition that we are looking at when it comes to cybersecurity services, and what is the palette of the companies, the adopters to adopt a cybersecurity services company, that is foreign based, that's coming into the UK?
I think regarding this, because it's a bit more specific, I could check with our expert and come back to you, because I don't want to just give you like a general answer. So definitely I can take this back and send you the response after. And your second question, sorry.
What is the channel partner market like in the UK, right? For channel partnerships, resellers, distributors.
For that, also, because again, I don't think I'm in the best place to answer this question. I could come back to you on the second question as well. And I wrote down your questions already, so I could get back to you by like latest tomorrow. Because I want to make sure, again, I am not just giving you the regular kind of answers and generic answers. I just wanted to check with some of the experts, because they are more like hands-on kind of, and they are in the market, so they are better, they are in best place to respond to some of these questions. Unfortunately, like one of the experts who's supposed to join the call, he wasn't able to join. And what is your third question again?
The third question was, I think, basically, given the UK's economic political climate in the last year or so, and it is trying to get restabilize. I'm just wondering, what sort of competition, we are looking at, if a foreign-owned company like Singapore steps into the UK, in terms of stability, there's also Europe on the other side of the fence, right? So what are the main barriers or challenges, if we were to come in the UK, that we would face, given the socio-political, geopolitical climate right now?
Yeah, and what type of companies do you have? Can you share a bit more
So
about
like
it?
I shared, I'm from SoftCheck. We are a cybersecurity services company. So we look into a company's vulnerability when it comes to their systems, both on the application and web based as well. And we basically look into threat prevention, hunting, detection, and ensuring that we can stress test their systems so that they can combat any sort of vulnerability or foresee any vulnerabilities. Yeah.
What I could do, because this is like more bespoke to your company, then I could just like.
But generally, Huda, right? What are we looking at in terms of challenges for generally Singaporean companies that in the UK market?
Yeah, I think Huda, especially you guys have been supporting also a lot of Singapore companies in their entry, right? I think it's through those based on how you have supported not even Singapore companies, maybe other foreign companies, what kind of even key challenges that they have faced, I think. And while some of the questions that Pavita has raised may be more specific to their organization, but I think if you can cover based on your experience, right? While Philip is not able to join us today, but I think, if you can cover based on your experience in, supporting other foreign companies in their entry, right, to the UK, I think that will help. Yeah.
I can come in just a little bit, Hoda, just using the playbook. So we have a bit on risks and barriers to entry in the playbook, and these will just be very general risks that companies will face. So there might be others that are much more specific to each company. However, I suppose the regulatory landscape and navigating the UK's regulatory landscape is quite complex. So that can be a bit of a stopping point for companies as they first come in. Now, there is plenty of support out there, but as Hoda took us through the regulations, there are quite a number of both general regulations as well as more specific cybersecurity regulations. And in the UK, there isn't a one overarching cybersecurity regulation. There are lots of different acts and laws that play into cybersecurity as a whole, but that can be a bit of a barrier for companies just to navigate those initial steps. That is one example. I suppose in the UK there is for some elements of it, there's a bit of a skills shortage in some specific aspects of cybersecurity. So for some companies that is a bit of a barrier. However, the UK is taking steps to address this shortage. There are lots of schemes and courses in place to ensure that the relevant and necessary pipeline of talent is being strengthened to support all different types of cybersecurity companies that are both in the UK and those wanting to come to the UK. So those are some general barriers that companies might face.
Thanks, Patricia. Just a quick follow-up question. It doesn't. I appreciate that answer, right? So just to build on that, let's say a Singaporean cybersecurity company, doesn't matter whether your services platform-based product. If we want to enter the market, who are the key stakeholders that we should partner with in terms of government agencies or trade associations? Like in Singapore, right? For example, for companies that want to enter, it's always there's a saying, right? Get the blessings from the trade associations, work with the trade associations like SGTech, SPF, etc., etc. So in the UK, what is the playbook like?
There are a number of the organizations, which is, I think, it's also listed on the playbook that you could talk to. In general, I really think besides the ones that be listed on the playbook, it is really important to just attend some industry events or even like connect to some of these experts that we talk to. They kept mentioning about how networking is really important. Being part of like some sort of cybersecurity club, because some of these experts they are could give their inputs, regarding like what's going on in the industry, and they have like regular events and all that. One of the other thing is, obviously, when you're coming to the UK as a startup, obviously it's really good to go to Enterprise Singapore first, as in general, like because they also provide support, and they could also connect you to the relevant partners in the UK. And again, depending on on your company, like they could connect you to the relevant partners there, whether it is like an association or cyber security club, or I don't know, like a reseller or anything like that. They could help you to connect. Also, there are consulting firms that you could engage. Again, I know there are certain grants that are available when you are looking into getting into the UK market, that you could tap into through Enterprise Singapore. But again, it depends. There are numbers of associations and that you could engage. Basically, there's, for example, one in Wales that is very well established. Again, the Belfast has a very good ecosystem. You could connect to some of those partners there. Or even in London, of course. London is one of the key places that you could connect. So there are numbers of options there, but it's up to you, like depending on more your product and services, who you want to connect and who you would think would be beneficial for you. But again, we have more on this on the playbook as well. Some examples as well. Even like Plexal is one of the experts that we talked from Plexal. Plexal would be one of the partners that you could talk to. So there are, again, numbers of different options, and there are more details, and the link are provided in Playbook.
Not an issue. Hoda, we actually have another question that has come in the chat from one of our participants. He's asking about the sports industry. So cybersecurity within the sports industry. Do you have any comments or insights on that? If not, I can take that question as well.
Sure. I think usually with these big sport clubs, because they got lots of money, this is based on what Victor mentioned previously. I think there are more probably in danger of like attack. So that's why even I remember Victor mentioning that he was so surprised. I think he joined 5 or 6 years ago at Chelsea Football Club, and he was so shocked how initially when he joined, like they didn't have like a kind of like proper system in place. And but I think usually like with this kind of sectors, because they got substantial amount of money involved, and they usually like generate like I don't know, billions revenue, through broadcasting, like sponsorship, etc. So that's why there are more target for like cyber kind of criminal looking to basically attack their system. But I don't know, Raj, do you want to add something to this? Or?
Yes. So in general, I think what I also wanted to cover for everyone here is that as much as the UK is ripe with cybersecurity opportunities because of the multiple sectors that are in place, I think one important thing that was covered in our playbook, which initially I didn't know, but I think it's quite insightful for companies to know, is that there are a lot of regional based organizations and companies in place, which are actually covered within our playbook. So for example, you have organizations like MIDAS, MIDAS, as well as WICA, WYCA, operating from Manchester and West Yorkshire, etc. These are involved in actually working with companies and helping them to be able to expand on some of the economic opportunities within those particular regions. And it's important for us to know also of other partners like what was mentioned in the chat as well, Tech UK, Plexel, even the Department of Business and Trade, DBT, of which Kevin Riyad is part of. So these are specific organizations and entities that we can work with more closely. In fact, as part of our recent business mission to the UK and the crafting of this particular playbook, SG Tech, OCO Global, Cyber SG, TIG Center, we were all able to work very closely with these entities. And in fact, some of our mission participants are also here in our call as well. So we're more than happy to be able to discuss some of these things. I think one final point is that a lot of these questions are wonderful and relevant, and they are covered very thoroughly within our playbook. So why I say that is because for things like local competition, for example, we have certain organizations, even from Singapore, that have established themselves. But it is important for us to know that within the UK market, it is important to get a partner there. And some of these partners, again, in our recent business mission, we were actually able to create and establish some of the connections between our companies and them as well. So we're more than happy to explore some of this. And a lot of these insights are also things that you'll be able to find in our playbook as well. So with that, maybe we can also welcome just one or two more questions before we go into our launch proper.
Just maybe add to what Raj said while the questions are coming in. Just definitely, as he mentioned, for specific places like Manchester, or if you're looking at other regions, it's really important to engage the local partner, and also I think it would be important just to talk as many partners as you can, just to see what is the right fit for you guys. Because again, there are so many partners, as he mentioned, DBT, Tech UK, etc. You could get by talking to different organizations, you could get different information that would be very useful for you. But then you could see what is the right kind of partner to join, whether it is to work with, even so yeah.
With that, Hoda, I think we have time for just one final question. We've gotten it from Michael in the chat. He has asked, can you clarify how the GDPR regulations in UK apply for using offshore resources?
I can come in on that, Hoda, if you want.
Okay,
just very sorry, I'm keeping my camera off. Only my Wi-Fi has started to slow down in the office, so every time I turn my camera on, it
no
goes
worries, we know you're there.
So, but I'm here, yes. So just about GDPR. So in the UK, GDPR law means that it applies to all entities, all businesses handling personal data of UK residents, regardless of where that entity is based. So if you are in charge of any UK residents' data, then you must adhere to UK GDPR. Is that helpful, Michael?
Thanks, Patricia. Yeah, I was more thinking about that data itself. So, if we're using our offshore resources that sit in Singapore, as an example, and we're not processing, but we're handling data that's coming in from UK. What rules apply? Because I think a lot of companies try to make the data kind of anonymized, and you can't see specific resident data. But it's just handling the data. What do we need to be aware of and concerned about?
Sure. I mean, there's the detail is in the playbook, so I'm quickly sort of pulling it up so I can remind myself. But we have two kind of laws that apply to data protection and data privacy. So one is the UK GDPR, and then the other is the Data Protection Act, which complements UK GDPR. And I think that even if you're using, if there's any, sorry, I'm hoping I'm understanding your question correctly, if there's any data that relates to UK residents being taken in to your company, then it must adhere to both of those regulations. I think that's, if I've understood your question correctly, I understand that to be the case.
Yeah, no, thanks, Patricia. I'll run through the playbook and just to make sure I'm familiar with those laws. I think we are, but I think it's just the detail part, which is what can you see, what can't you see?
Oh yes, I understand.
Who's allowed to handle it, who's not allowed to handle it? How long can we store the data, etc., etc.
Yes, so there are regulations on storage of data, and also the right to sort of your data to be then deleted or removed from different companies. So people have the right to request their data be removed. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the number of years and how those apply, but all of that detail is in the playbook.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, I think we'll just proceed on as well. I don't see any new questions.
Raj,
Yes,
can you just before, can you just pass on the contact details of the guy who asked me the 3 questions later on, so I could get back to him?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
That's Paviter. Yeah, I'll pass his details. Thank you. With that, okay. So what we'll do is we'd like to request first for everyone, if you are not already following our SG Tech social accounts, please do so. Here, you'll be able to stay updated with our latest news, our
Raj,
industry
you are not
research.
sharing your slides.
Okay. Apologies about that. Let me just quickly share that. Okay. Is this visible?
Yep.
All right. Thank you for pointing that out. So before we go into our launch proper, we'd like to make a request for everyone to be able to follow our SG Tech's social accounts if you are not already doing so. Again, via Facebook, via LinkedIn, please stay updated with the range of different activities that we have, not only for cybersecurity, but actually all matters of tech. We also do industry research, industry events, following tech trends as well. And more importantly, we are your ecosystem for being able to understand all things tech. So do follow us if you have not already done so. Meanwhile, we are also doing a quick shout out for our project partners, CyberSG TIG Collaboration Center. They have a LinkedIn page, so please do scan this as well. Has everyone scanned? Then I'll move on to the next slide. Okay. And meanwhile, we also have our upcoming Malaysia Cyber Export Playbook Clinic. So again, being able to understand the Malaysia cybersecurity landscape much more deeply is something that we endeavor to do within this session, and to craft your strategies for being able to better penetrate the Malaysia cybersecurity market and create partners there as well. So this is actually happening this week on Thursday, 6 February 2025, Singapore timing 4 to 5:30 p.m. We would like to strongly request everyone who's in this chat but has not already registered for this Cyber Export Playbook Clinic to just come by, register yourself, join our session and learn much more about Malaysia. For all you know, you may be able to also pick up a few tips on how to work in some of the Southeast Asian regions as well. So I'll just give us about 2 minutes for all of us to scan the QR code and register our presence. If everyone has scanned, please let me know as well verbally. Okay, I'll proceed to our next slide as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our UK Cyber Export Playbook ready for you to download. Please begin scanning this particular code, this QR code, to receive your exclusive first copy of the UK Cyber Export Playbook. Okay, has everyone downloaded? Please let us know if you still require a bit of time. Okay, thank you to those who are reacting. I can see some thumbs coming up. Okay. Have we missed out anyone else? Is everyone all right? Right. Thank you, Michael. Okay. We also have the link in the chat as well, in case anyone is unable to download via the QR code. So, yeah. All right. We'll proceed. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, before we end our session proper, we'd like to really request for all of you to give your feedback for this particular session. Again, with our Cyber Export Clinic for Malaysia coming up, we'd love to be able to serve your needs much more effectively. Please do scan this QR code and or the link that may be available within the chat to provide us your inputs. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. please let us know once you've completed. Perhaps like what Michael wonderfully did, to just text in the chat itself, so we can just keep track of our participants. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for those who have completed the feedback form. We're really grateful. So with that, we've come to the end of today's Cyber Export Playbook Clinic. Thank you very much, everyone, for taking out your time to join us. We'd like to extend our sincere thanks to Miss Patricia McCann, as well as Miss Hoda Shahzadeh, for wonderfully joining us, being able to present on the key aspects of our Cyber Export Playbook for UK. And more importantly, we really hope that the knowledge that you have gained today will empower you to take the next steps in growing your cybersecurity venture in the UK. So thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you in our future events. Have a great evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.